As a nation, we have become obsessed with SUVs. Their rise to stardom rivals the likes of Instagram and Snapchat. They have become an integral part of our society, so much so that BMW has filled pretty much each and every gap in the SUV range, from the X1 all the way up to the X7. Today we focus on the car that occupies the mid-size SUV space, the X3. Very soon we will have our first ever full fat M-Power X3, and to get in the mood I thought there is no better way than to take a look at the semi-skimmed X3, the M40i. This is not a full-blown M-Power product, however. It is what BMW call an M-Performance model. You can differ the M40i from a regular X3 by its Cerium grey accents. So the kidney grills, the air breathers, the door mirrors and the rear model designation are all in Cerium grey, which I think adds a real subtle aggression to the car. I don't think it's over the top. I think it really disguises the performance potential that's hidden within this body. I think that's a great thing. But an M-Performance BMW shouldn't just look the part, it also needs to drive the part as well. Under the bonnet of the M40i, it features the B58 6-cylinder petrol engine, which produces in this guise 354 horsepower. I mean, that engine has to be one of the best that's ever been slotted into the front of a BMW, hasn't it? At low revs, it emits a sort of low-pitched grumble, sort of hints at the performance, so give it a little squirt. It just, when paired with that 8-speed gearbox, it's just silky smooth. It's one of the smoothest, most satisfying engines I think I've ever driven. And then at heights at around 6,000 RPM, it screams. It absolutely howls. I mean, let me just demonstrate. Put it across into sports gearbox, drop it a few pedals, and then listen to this. It's got such a real pull to it. You've got a tiny little bit of turbo lag up until around 2,000 RPM, but after that it just pulls relentlessly, absolutely relentlessly. It feels every bit as fast as its 0 to 62 time of 4.8 seconds would suggest. Now, this car isn't only very, very capable in a straight line, it also corners, which is a very, very impressive thing for a car of this size. BMW has worked tirelessly on this to make sure that it feels like a proper performance car through the bends. And I'm very happy to report that it does. It doesn't feel as high and as big as it is. There's very, very minimal body roll, which is a very big achievement for this thing. And it just attacks corners with such a crisp edge. The suspension and so on is it's spot on. I mean, the way this car corners is fantastic. It's flat, it's composed, and that four-wheel drive system means that you can carry on going when the weather has other ideas. Now, how has BMW achieved this in an SUV? Well, first things first, they fitted it with a variable four-wheel drive system, which is always monitoring the road conditions, and it can basically send up to 99% of the power to the front or the rear axle, depending on traction. And it's also got a very, very clever rear differential. But I think the most important thing about an M-Performance model is that it has to be fun. And I tell you, this thing, It does things that a car this size should not do. You should not be able to cover ground as quickly as you can in this car. It's so fun. And that engine, I mean, I will continue to boast about that engine because it is a real masterpiece. Real masterpiece. The X3 M40i is a jack of all trades. It can be the usable, spacious, high quality SUV that the regular X3 is, but it can also cover ground at an exceptional rate, and it achieves all of this while carrying 5 adults in comfort and refinement. This car is great, and it really has whet my appetite for the soon arriving X3M. If you've enjoyed this video, do please leave it a like, and if you'd like to see more content just like this, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss a beat.